But I do need to bash the opposite end of this because that's what might lead to this. The foolish church leader who tries to say that if it's easy, it's God. Here's an example of something that's very easy that's not God, that is dropping heavy objects. So you're lifting a heavy object and then dropping it and it's shattering is in almost all cases an unholy act, but it's very easy. It's one of the unholy, and frankly, that would be one of the unholy acts that's probably easier to do. Basically, lifting fine china and dropping it, watching it shatter. Actually, it would be a quite heinous act. That is one of the more heinous acts. That's actually very easy to do. So that's an easy way to demonstrate that something being easy doesn't indicate godliness. The mismatch of that is the fact that there's no such thing as easy understanding really of most of the Bible. Very little of the Bible has an easy understanding. We're going to start to look at things like the original Greek or Egyptian hieroglyph, New Testament, Old Testament. No one in the right mind would say that's easy. Almost nothing in medicine is easy. And frankly, no worthwhile job is easy. Perhaps the greatest Satan teaching is to say that easy denotes will of God. The thing is, the will of God is never easy. Why do people follow the devil? They follow the devil because it's easy. So when follow the devil, it was hard. If it was actually hard to sin, no one would do that. Most sin is connected to laziness, if you be honest about it. Most sin, in the end, is taking shortcuts. A lot of pastors talk about that. Most sin is shortcuts. Or you have a real problem if, that shortcut is a long way around. Somebody's working in like a nuclear plant, just as like the radiation tunnel. I'm going to say again, there's a problem if that shortcut is a long way around a marriage prospect. It looks like that might be a problem because I'm being affected by some spirits generated by the church, which are obviously affecting a lot of people. Because frankly, the worst possible teaching a pastor can give is saying BS about dating. The only healthy dating is one where a person is allowed to have a partner on the first date, and then he goes to the church and they support him getting married next week. Okay? That's the only thing that's reasonable. A person can start dating, and then if he finds someone he likes, the church supports them getting hitched in a week. We need to help him get a marriage license the next day. To do anything else will result in adultery. That's why adultery is such a problem it is in the United States. Because for some reason people have a problem with just marrying the first girl you like. Why in the world does that have to be a problematic union? I see some really vile shit. Where I see psychiatrists. This guy is a psychiatrist without following the APA rules. Try to mitigate relationships. Somebody who would have been a wonderful friend. Scared the hell out of my mom. Why? She didn't like the idea of a scientist and a homemaker being together. That's a personal opinion. That's a personal opinion. Oh, yeah, problem there. But therapists are saying bullshit about toxicity. The goal of humans is to make relationships work. As soon as you start bringing, I'm going to talk. I need to talk about the idea of toxic people. Talk about the idea of toxic people and how basically here's the thing. Here is why it's a crime. Actually, here's why it would be here's why it's actually a crime. I'm going to be bold about this. Here's why it's a crime for a therapist to start assigning who is toxic. One, I'm not talking about the obvious. I'm not talking about people who are outwardly violent. Because I'm not going to go down the route of insane. Okay? Because it's not what this is about. This is about basically someone makes a friend, tries to talk to a therapist about it, and therapist runs this toxicity assessment. See, a problem there is that assumes all people are toxic, and then the psychiatrist needs to verify that there is no toxicity. The problem here is the way toxicity is considered in this case. In other words, all people are toxic, as I said, and then who is safe? The people who are safe are the people who meet this rigor list, which of course contains stuff like is a professional, has $50,000 in the bank, has a specific type of credit cards. That's a proper avenue for dating higher service, not for a psychologist. You have a problem there with the first one. Because the truth is, career never determines toxicity. Of course, that's a whole bunch of fooey. People know how to identify actual toxic people. Women are very good natively identifying toxic men. And toxic men is always eventually related to violence. In all cases, the deal with toxic men is that they run a violence eventually. In the end, with all toxic men, it is in violence. With women, usually it's because for materialism or cosmopolitan reasons. They get what they want, using threats of violence, along with some men who are basically sexed into submission. Toxicity talks about violence and nothing else. The goal of psychiatry should be to find ways to help people communicate. You don't do that. You do not help people communicate by not understanding your textbook. Seriously.